M Night Shyamalan, he can do a twist almost always. Almost, I don't know if you knew this, but there's twists in these movies. Um, I found Old to be very M Night Shyamalan, right? Which is like you go in and you know that there's going to be some parts of the film that you're just like, this is creepy, this is cool, this totally works for me, and then some other moments that you're just like, hey, this is a little too much, a little over the top. Um, but it's always interesting. I think is where I fall with it, and I found this to be a pretty interesting film for a couple of reasons. One, I think I think the concept you can get from the trailer is that this group of people are on a resort vacation, go to this beach that they can't get off of, and they're aging very quickly on the beach. Um, and that's obviously made very apparent by the children that come along with them, who go from being 6 and I think 8 years old to like 11 and 17 within the first like 20 minutes that they're on the beach, something like that. Um, and to see the dynamics play out as because there's just so much that goes on with this movie, right? You have them not only figuring out why are we aging so quickly, the group dynamics of there's a rapper there, which first of all, M Night Shyamalan named this rapper Mid-Size Sedan, played by Aaron Pierre. Which I was like, you
That's
couldn't think
funny.
of a better rapper name than that, but it's almost like so. I don't know. I do think that's his attempt at being funny. Um, but he's on the beach already when they get there, and then this woman that he had been on the beach with washes up to shore, and that kind of kicks dead, obviously, and that kind of kicks the whole group into like suspicion and like the there's a lot of like racial dynamics underlying a lot of the interactions that happen, specifically with Rufus Sewell's character Charles, who's a doctor that's on the beach with his family. He kind of becomes like the antagonist on this beach, along with
Mm.
obviously just the mystery of the aging. Um, and so there's that going on. There's family and relationship dynamics between Gail Garcia Bernal and Vicky Krieps,
Yeah.
who play like
Phantom
the
Thread.
mom and dad. What was that?
I said Phantom Thread fame.
I know. It was nice to see her again because obviously we don't see her in a lot of movies that
No.
are this big all the time. And Gail Garcia Bernal, we had just seen last year in um,
What was that?
what was the name of it? Hold on, I'm pulling it up
Something.
right now. Yeah, it was Wasp Network
Wasp Network,
on
yes.
Netflix.
The SAS
Um,
movie.
and they have I don't know if I totally buy their relationship at the beginning, but they're going through relationship issues and on this resort vacation to like have a last memory with their children. And then as the children age and things happen on the beach, they kind of start also addressing their relationship issues as they're kind of like growing old together all within the span of this day. So there's those dynamics going on. There's a very strange part where someone on the island becomes pregnant and within like I don't know 15 minutes has a child, and the child does not make it, and that part's very
Mm.
very strange to me. But overall, I think there's more good than bad here. I don't know if this is a top tier M Night Shyamalan movie,
Mm.
but there's enough here to kind of keep your interest. And I do think the twist, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I do think the twist makes you really think about like ethical standards
Mm.
of some of the things that go on the island, and it leaves things in more of a gray area than you would expect it to, especially watching the rest of the movie. Just shouting out real quick, Thomason McKenzie,
Mm.
who plays like the daughter aged into teenagehood, and then also like you mentioned before, Alex Wolf plays the son aged into teenage into adulthood, and I think they're both pretty good. So I think the performances aren't bad. You also get Ken Leung, who we just have been
Mm.
talking about in industry, and he has a really funny running bit between him and Rufus Sewell, or Rufus Sewell's character Charles can never get his name right. His name is Jaren, and he just keeps screaming at him, "My name is Jaren," and just like freaking out at him. It's just really funny. It really reminds me of his character in Industry, because the rest of the time he's like the complete opposite of it. But
That's
there's
funny.
some interesting stuff going on, so I recommend
Yeah.
watching it, but not
Would you?
top tier Shyamalan.
Yeah. Would you consider Old a horror film? Is it more of a suspense thriller? Because it's notable that it's mainly set in the daylight, right? And something like Midsommar, still very much a horror film, even though it's during the
Mhm.
day. But Old, the trailer definitely suggests that there's suspenseful moments. But like, is it a full on horror movie? How would you characterize it?
Think I would put it more in the suspense thriller
Mm,
category. I just didn't feel like there were enough like big scares here.
that's good
Um,
because I still want to see it, and that makes me more eager to see it.
there's only one real, I feel like, really scary moment, which is Abby Lee Kershaw plays this model wife of Rufus Sewell's character, and there's a part near the end, right before she dies. I guess that's a bit of a spoiler, but pretty much everybody on the island dies eventually, just because of the aging, mostly. Where the way her character dies just leaves her very like uh like deformed in a way,
Yeah,
but
I've
not the
seen
way you'd
that. Yeah,
expect. Yeah, and I think that's like the only real like kind of like horror movie moment for me. But otherwise, a lot of it's just suspenseful and creepy. But
got it.
um I'm looking forward to hearing what you think when you do see it. Maybe we'll circle back to it real quick
Yeah.
on the pod.
Yeah, like that the Shyamalan twist always polarizes, but I think it's always important to note that M. Night's someone who has his own creative vision and identity. Like he's a very singular filmmaker, and we should always commend that. And Old, like his last movie, Glass, he self-financed this. It only
Hmm.
cost like 18 million before marketing, but that was all him. And this movie made 16.5 million at the box office, notably beating the underperforming Snake Eyes. So it's nearly equaled its budget. And that was, largely put together by M. Night. So I think, you know, even when the movie's maybe only so, he's always, I think, worth not only checking out, but also worth commending because he operates in a unique way in the industry.
Yeah, and it's interesting. He actually is like a pretty, I don't wouldn't say central character, but like he gets a lot of screen time himself in the movie, playing a
Hmm.
person who's like on the resort and like
Huh.
takes these people to this island and is like kind of on the tertiaries of the movie. So you see a lot of him in the movie. I think there's a lot of meta-ness almost to like the
Yeah.
role that he plays. So it's pretty
Rick
interesting.
Dalton,
But
yeah.
yeah, I give him a lot of credit. He at least, similar to like Christopher Nolan, I think he at least comes up with really creative ideas and
Mm.
original ideas. And so obviously getting any kind of original idea in Hollywood these days is worth
Yeah.
giving notice to.